Welcome, everyone. How we all doing? Y'all look so good. It is Friday, June 7th, and after a year, I'm finally getting the date right. I am Stephen Hammers, and proud to be your president.
Stephen, it's June 6th.
I hope you do that for Jennifer. What did I say? Is it June 6th? A year later, I have not got the date right. My watch, oh, it is D-Day. 80 years? Oh, what am I thinking about? Heck, I'm getting that day wrong. Well, anyway, glad to have you all here. We're going to have a great time today. We have Beth Normandy doing our invocation and Michael Barrett doing our pledge and four-way test. Beth?
Good afternoon. Will you pray with me? Dear Lord, in a world full of uncertainty, we humbly ask for your guidance. Help us to trust in your wisdom and to find peace within ourselves, even amidst the storms of life. May your light shine upon our paths, and may we be led to make choices that align with your will. Grant us the strength to face challenges with courage and the grace to accept what we cannot change. May we help those that are in need, like Rotarians do. May we have the wisdom to know who they are. Thank you for your unwavering love and support. We ask that you bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Will you join me in the pledge to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America.
One nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
And now the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. And remember, because Jim Villers is not here today, our club, there is 5. But number 1,
it's true.
Number 2,
it's fair to all concerned.
3rd,
good.
4th,
beneficial to all concerned.
5th.
All right, Jennifer Ruane, our wonderful secretary, pledge or guest and visiting Rotarians.
Happy Friday. We have several guests today. I'm going to start with, gosh, there's so many, I don't know where to start. So I just walked in the room, so I don't know where everybody's sitting, so forgive me. So I'm going to start with Jennifer. She has a guest today, and I know there's many of us. Does everybody know who this one is? Shepherd. This is Jennifer Shepherd.
A lot of Jennifers. I've got my friend Claire Coleman here. I've known for several years, and would you just stand up and tell them what you do? You could say.
Hi, thank you for having me today. I'm Claire Coleman. I'm the Executive Director of Project Cure. We are a nonprofit located in Nashville, but we are an international organization that collects surplus medical supplies from hospitals, doctors' offices, and urgent care clinics. And we redistribute those medical supplies to developing nations and areas of conflict. We always love having volunteers and having visitors. So if you'd like to come check out our 55,000 square foot warehouse and all of the medical supplies that are just crammed into every corner, please come see me. I'd love to talk to you. Thanks.
All right, I'm going to run across the other side of the room. I'm going to start with Zach has a guest today.
Yeah, I got my childhood buddy, Bart Brookfeld. He came in from Phoenix, Arizona, and Scottsdale, and I was like, hey, come in for CMA Fest. And then I was like, okay, we're going to go to the Rotary today. So he's like, what's the Rotary? I was like, it's an awesome group. Just come on. So he did some videography out in Arizona. So he's an awesome guy and fellow Buckeye too. So go Bucks.
Hello, I've got with me today Elizabeth Story and her daughter Riley. They moved here from California. Elizabeth is a real estate broker who I'm trying to get come work with me a little bit at Brentview. Please come say hello to her and her daughter.
And Dick has a guest today.
Good stand up. Can you do that still? You're an old man. Dick Corbin and I met at the Monterey Army Language School in 1961. We have been friends ever since. We both studied Russian. He went off to Germany. I went off to Germany. We stayed friends the entire time. After finishing college, Dick went in the CIA, I went in the State Department. We traveled around the world and we saw each other in Bangkok, we saw each other in Moscow, various places around the world. He retired as a senior intelligence officer from the agency. He doesn't look like Sean Connery, which is probably a good thing to make him a better spy. So we haven't seen each other in 9 years. He came down to visit me. Glad to
That's
have him.
awesome. Wow.
And we have two prospective members in the room. We have Tammy. She joined us a couple weeks ago. I do have her paperwork, so we're glad to have her back.
Hi, I'm Tammy McInerney. I am a partner at a CPA firm from the San Francisco Bay Area, based in stomach transplant. I lead our nonprofit tax practice, so very near and dear to my heart, and I do tax essentially. So we're just trying to get involved with.
Awesome.
And where is John? So I understand he has his paperwork in too. I don't have it, so I'm working on that this afternoon.
Thank you. John Thompson. I'm with GraceWorks in Franklin. And you may be familiar with us, but we provide food, clothing, shelter, and utility assistance to residents of Williamson County and distribute food throughout Middle Tennessee. So we're grateful for your support. And my friend Mark McFerrin was supposed to meet me here, but I think he's still celebrating his birthday, which was yesterday. So you can give him a hard time next time you see him. Thank you.
Well, you're always welcome to come, whether he's here or not. We're all friends here. President Steve, did you want me to introduce the RYLA recipients that are here, or do you want to do that?
Bob, well, I don't think anybody's going to do that, so go ahead.
Okay. So one of our 24-25 RYLA recipients is Fatima Mendoza. Fatima, you want to stand up? And I didn't get to ask her, but I'm guessing she's babysitting her brothers for the summer because they're with her. And so that's Joshua and Jacob. You guys stand up. And we have Chip. Chip, are you? Yep, Chip, welcome. Now, were you a 2024 recipient as well? Or what are you, your staff? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, staff. I know people at RYLA. And okay, so is that everybody except our speakers for the day? Okay.
Awesome.
Did anyone sign up for auto pay? I know you didn't because Jason and I have been talking. The first person that signs up gets a prize.
Oh.
It's exciting, isn't it? Okay, I look forward to seeing everybody hopefully at Steve's hangar party this weekend.
Gonna be great. Let me mention this before Happy Bucks. I sent an email out a few days ago. Our former member, Bill McCarthy, passed away this week. He was a member of our club for 20 years. So just please keep the family in mind. Just in case you didn't see that email, I just wanted to make that announcement. So, all right, Stephen Hall, Happy Bucks.
The sun is shining. The tank is clean. Who's happy? Hurry.
We had excuse me for not getting up, I'm too old. We had a wonderful, wonderful event at Mike Barrett's house last night for Steve. And just out of the happiness of his heart, we had champagne and lobster for all of those who missed it.
It was a great evening last night.
Lots of
Great
fun.
evening.
Lots of fun. Yes, sir, Dick.
Well, I'm just happy my friend Dick is here. We have always congratulated ourselves that without us, we would not have won the Cold War, but we did. And Dick has been a lifelong friend, so I'm very happy. After 9 years, we haven't seen each other, and he's down here, and we're having a good time. I think we're going down to Broadway after this, right?
Oh.
Broadway on CMA Fest weekend. That's a choice. Coming around.
A week ago Wednesday, I was getting ready for bed and I bumped a spider vein on my right foot and ended up losing a unit of blood before I could call 911. So I had a trip to the emergency room in an ambulance that night, and no shirt, no shoes. All I had on was what I was going to wear to bed. And at 2:40 that morning, they sent me home with a blanket and a hospital gown and hospital socks. And that's how I got home. My wife was out of town, the power went out, and my dogs went crazy. But
Oh my
I am
gosh.
happy to be here because that was not a
Wow.
good scene.
No shirts, no shoes. Great service though.
Sunday starts the best week of the year. It's RYLA week. So thank you so much for having us. We're looking forward to a great week of training some amazing young leaders from across Middle and West Tennessee.
Awesome.
Excellent. Anybody else? Anybody happy today? President Hammers, oh, we got one in the corner. Hold on. Y'all making me jog today. Hey, Beth.
I'm happy, proud mom today. My daughter, I have two children, but my daughter just graduated UB, and the Sarah Cannon Institute for Cancer, obviously, but the outpatient clinic just created a position for her. So I'm like, she's the first year graduate that they've ever created this position for. And she's going to kind of pilot the program and be the pioneer and their guinea pig. But she has a beautiful portfolio and she worked so hard in college. Colleen knows and has supported her all along the way also as a cheerleader. So I'm really proud of her. And then she starts her nurse practitioner school next and all that. But that just happened yesterday. And I had met her at the I Love Juice Bar in Brentwood to get a juice because she has a cold. And we both were like jumping up and down on the sidewalk. I'm really happy for her. And she just recently got married. So she's had a busy month, but I'm just really proud.
Definitely worth the $5. All right. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody? If it's on that side of the room, extra running for me. Going once, going twice, and we're good.
Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate it. We have an announcement. Larry Kane.
Time to get serious about all that. Heard a little bit about it this last 3 months, but it's time to get serious. We've got 94 days to our time. As I stand here in front of you today, we've got about 40% of the money that we need. We'll do the same thing as the last. We've got 94 days. Next week, we're going to sit in teams. Well, your team captain will be calling you. With your team, we'll have 10 tables set up for each team. We'll be ready to report to your team captain what you've been doing the last week. If you stand with up here and told you to be ready to meet. That'll be next meeting, next Friday. We'll be ready to report. Got any questions? Let me know. I'm going to be sending out a lot of emails this week. Everybody was responsible with an email with the stats. In other words, you had 3 sales last year, this year you've got 2 left. Or you had 3 sales last year, this year you've got so far this year you've got 3. Yay for you. So you get either early positive email or a reminder. So if you have any questions, call me. We got to get to work. We're going to be better than we did last year. That's my promise. Last year we're on our way. Got 94 days. See y'all next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it. Don't forget, tomorrow is the Rotary District Conference at Paris Landing. And so that's going to be a wonderful day. And also July 10th is our installation banquet, Richmond Country Club. Love to have a big crowd. That's where we kind of start our new year, even though it is July 1st. We will not be meeting July 4th, obviously. That is on a Friday. We won't be meeting. So the last of our Rotary year will be that week before. I think that's the 27th. So then right after that will be our installation banquet on July 10th. So hopefully everybody can come. So that is all the announcements, unless anybody has anything else that might have missed. Yeah, I was going to do a happy buck about that, but more of a sad buck. No, we've been in a hotel for 3 weeks now. So I know, old, not fun. So they didn't give us a very good report. Alan. Yeah. Oh, for you, they start at 9 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. Huh? No alcohol, sorry. Bring all the booze you want. I don't want you to sue me in case you fall. No. Please don't bring anything. But I'm going to send out a reminder email directions if anybody's going to the air show tomorrow. It will be rain or shine. So it'll be fun. It's called covered, climate controlled. So it'll be nice to watch the air show if you're going to come. So I'll send y'all a reminder of that. It'd be a blast. Those of you who are not going to the district conference. Anyway, all right. I'd like to have Jeff Brown come up and introduce our guest.
Well, it may sound trite, but seriously, our speaker today is a guy that really needs no introduction. Bob Huffman is former district governor, 2019, 2020, and since 2011 has been the district director of RYLA. So let's give Bob Huffman a warm welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, everybody. It's a great day to be here at Brentwood Rotary Club. And the best part of this is I get to share my passion about RYLA. And RYLA is probably the most significant thing that Rotary does all year to impact our youth service, Fifth Avenue of service. Sheila, it's so good to see you. Sheila's been a champion for our program for many, many years. And as many of you know of the Dick was the district governor, I think, about the time that I was selected and appointed for this job. So imagine you've joined Rotary after a career, and you've met this woman that you're scared of in your club because she's the power broker. And when I walked into Clarksville Sunrise Rotary Club, I was with my friend, and they said, "That's Miss Linda's table over there. Don't ever sit there unless if she invites you." I'm telling you guys, former state commissioner, had a PhD when women were not seeking PhDs in their married lives. And I walked into Rotary one day, and Linda looked at me and she goes, "I've been thinking about you." And I went, "Linda, I'm a good looking man. I don't blame you." And she goes, "You're incorrigible." And she said, "Ryan is leaving." I went, "Good for Ryan." Going back to Massachusetts where his family is. They've just had their first child. So they're going back to be close to where the grandparents are. And that's a wonderful thing. She goes, "I'm glad you're so excited that Ryan's leaving because you're the new RYLA director." Okay, so step back. I don't have kids. Our motto in my family is no kids, no pets, no plants. They're too much responsibility. I don't want to do it. So what I heard when she said RYLA director was, you're going to sacrifice a week of vacation and you're going to do it with a room full of 72-year-old. If there's like a first ring of hell on earth, that's where I'm at. So I take over RYLA in about 2011, and we took a look at what we were doing. Now, how is this for an opening statement to a presentation? RYLA changes lives. And our social media maven was banging around the keyboards during an early RYLA, and she came up with this quote. And it got picked up by Rotary International and shot out across all of their channels. And it literally went viral in the RYLA world that it's just not a week in your life. It's a lifetime distilled down into 5 days. That's who we are. It's what we do at the program that you sponsor. So I believe that everything you do in life should have a purpose. This is my bottom line up front. Beyond being here and bragging about our RYLA program, I get to brag about our small group leaders. When I was the district governor, you heard me talk about our RYFAM. the RYLA family. And I know it sounds like a cult, and really it kind of is, but that's a whole separate program for us to get to. Chip is here with us today, and I'm going to introduce Chip in just a second. The staff. The staff is the secret sauce. Everyone who's in that picture, bar myself, is an alumnus of our program. And if you distill it down to a common denominator of why they continue coming back, they'll tell you that RYLA had such an impact on my life. I come back and I volunteer a week of my time to ensure that RYLA 25 will have their lives transformed. To see what these youth do and the sacrifices they make, and they come from around the country. They fly in to volunteer at RYLA to have a meaningful impact in a program that they love. That's what we do. So right now, the first thing I want to do is introduce Fatma. She was an attendee last year, and she's going to come up and tell you about the experience of what RYLA is like from a participant's perspective. Fatma?
Good morning, everyone. I want to express my sincerest gratitude for having me here today. It is an honor to stand before you and share an experience that has profoundly reshaped my understanding of leadership. An experience made possible only by Miss Lovely Sheila Cleveland, who very graciously sponsored me for RYLA 2024. I also wanted to thank the entire team who made it possible to host RYLA, alongside my family who supported my endeavors. Before I attended RYLA in 2024, I held a fairly conventional idea of what a leader was. A leader, in my mind, was the person who stood in the front of a room, who had the loudest voice, the one who was always the first to succeed. They were the climbers who reached the top of the rock wall without faltering, the martial artists who executed every move with flawless precision. My time at RYLA, however, taught me that true leadership is often not found in the absence of struggle, but in the heart. One of our first challenges at RYLA was a towering rock climbing obstacle course. As I began my ascent, I noticed a girl from my group hesitating below. She confided in her harness buddy that she didn't think she could do it, that she wasn't strong enough. I knew she could do it. I knew it in my heart, but she didn't know it. So I helped her do it. Me and her harness buddy provided her the confidence she needed to succeed. Deep inside me, a newer, quieter instinct took over. I climbed down to her level, and together, with her partner, we talked her through it. We pointed out the handholds she couldn't see, we cheered her on when muscles were trembled, and we finally celebrated her. And she finally, triumphantly made it to the top. In that moment, her victory felt more significant than mine ever could have been. I was beginning to understand that leadership isn't always about being the best. It's about helping others discover their best. The lesson was driven home when I was struggling in a workshop. If the rock climbing was a test of courage, goal setting was a test of humility, a test I was scared to fail. While my new friend from the rock wall seemed to pick up the stances and strikes with a natural grace, my fear of underperformance held me back. Just as I was about to give up, she came to me. She didn't laugh or brag about her progress. Instead, she gently corrected me. Her movements were so soft, so gentle, and mirrored the instructor's movements so that I could follow along. She was patient and encouraging, and with her help, I managed to execute a clean block. She learned the true meaning of leadership on that rock wall, and now she was teaching it to me. Leadership, I was learning, is a two-way street. It is grace to give and receive help. It is being the bigger person, acknowledging when you need help and when to provide it. The bonds formed in the moments of shared vulnerability and mutual support have proven to be greater than the bonds of fear. These experiences themselves were incredible, but it is even better when you have someone to share it with. I found that the people and friends surrounding me are what made RYLA so enjoyable. Roughly 6 months after RYLA had ended, a boy from our group had sent us a message on our group chat, and it read, "I miss RYLA." Not just the activities, but the feeling of being with all of you. All of us in the group chat started sharing our favorite memories of our time at RYLA. That simple message was powerful, and it reminded us that the impact of RYLA extends far beyond a few days of workshops and challenges. It creates a network of young leaders who will support each other and lift up one another long after RYLA ended. My experience at RYLA taught me that leadership is not a title or a position. Rather, it is empathy. Empathy in your heart and empathy for others. Seeing the potential in others and helping it see them for themselves. It's about having the courage to try and fail and having the humility to accept help when you need it. I want to thank the Rotary Club once again for sponsoring me, Sheila Cleveland. Thank you.
Go back a slide. And next, I've got Chip Dial, who's with us. Chip didn't attend last year. He's been with us a minute. And I want you to get the perspective that he brings as a staff member and why he continues to come back. And he'll share some other secret things with you.
Okay. Hello all. As you can see, a lot of time has passed and a lot more hair has grown. This was, I believe, 2017. I started RYLA in 2016, and that was my first time. I was telling Bob, really being thrusted into a leadership position, you know, coming off of sophomore year of high school, just got done being bullied on and, you know, band geek, wrestling. So it was just like a lot coming at me. And it was here where I realized coming to RYLA, like there's something that I can do to be a leader rather than just sit by and do what I'm supposed to do, but do things that are more of me. Coming into now the staff year, I was like, okay, what did I learn last year that I can help these kids learn? And what I learned about myself is how to manage people's emotions within a group. You know, sometimes there's leaders and not all leaders look the same. Leaders can be very talkative. Leaders can be very quiet, but there's still a leader in there. So in these groups, I was able to teach one person not to talk as much or let the other person talk more, but still let them see each other as not two people battling each other, but two sides of the same coin, especially when accomplishing the same goal, especially in our small groups. It was through this learning of teaching, okay, younger people in high school how to come to themselves and become a leader that helped me see more of myself of, okay, now how can I step up more? This again was senior year or junior year going to senior year or senior year going to freshman year of college. And it was when I took the step to be, okay, I want to go to Vanderbilt. How can I go to Vanderbilt? Let me take the certain steps to get there. Let me do early decision. Let me talk with the alumni. Let me network with who I want to talk to. Let me visit the campus. And I was luckily able to go to Vanderbilt on a full scholarship. And next year after that, I became an RA at the dorm at Vanderbilt. And I would say becoming an RA, if you guys don't know, is like being a student. So each dorm has students, but being the person on that dorm level, on that level of students, if there's an emergency, people go to you. So you're basically the boss, leader, however you want to call it. But it was helping kids through RYLA see themselves that I was like, okay, I can work with 12 kids for a week. Can I work with 40 kids for a whole year? And they're all freshmen too. And I was like, okay, just go back to your roots. Okay, there's some people that do talk. There's some people that don't talk. There's some people that are very comfortable in the situations. There's some people that aren't. And I think RYLA just really helped me understand the youth, the leadership, and what more they have taught me and what I have taught them. I'll also bring back to RYLA that if it wasn't for this opportunity, I wouldn't have known about opportunities abroad. I was on 2023, got the Global Grant Scholarship, and I've been in Italy getting my master's in international healthcare management, economics, and policy. And I'm glad to say that I have graduated this year in February 2025. And again, none of that could not have happened without RYLA. So every time I think about RYLA, I think of how much more can I give to these students so that they can live fulfillment lives. They can go abroad, meet Rotary, because Rotary truly is an international experience. You get so many cultures, so many knowledge, and I just want to bring that each year to RYLA. So again, thank you for having me, and go RYLA.
Chip graduates from high school and he's at the barbecue on Sunday that we have for the Rye fam. And, you know, he shows up in his dreadlocks, urban attire. And I said, where are you going to? He goes, Vandy, full ride. I said, got that wrestling scholarship. He goes, physics, dude. I'm more than just this pretty face. I'm telling you, the guy's the whole package. He's a great wrestler. And then he gets a undergraduate degree from Vanderbilt in physics, picks up 2 masters, one at Meharry and then one at Bocconi that we just sent him to. He's an amazing scholar and an incredible leader. We're fortunate to have him on the team. So let's keep moving forward as to what's Rotary. At the bottom line, we're a comprehensive leadership initiative that's aimed at young leaders. At In Brief, we make it painfully obvious that when they come in, I say, Jennifer, you're a leader. And I'm going to treat each and every one of you inside the room as a leader during your tenure at RYLA. Now, if it ever gets to the point that you call out my attention that you need to be treated like a petulant child, I'm happy to do so. But neither one of us are going to enjoy the experience. And for the 5 days they're with us, we treat them as leaders. We expect them to conduct themselves as leaders. And that's exactly what we do. And that's exactly what we build. When you distill it down and you take a look at what we're doing at RYLA, all right, if you think about the role that you play in this, if you can select us, those young leaders who are already making a difference in their community, go into your high school and who is that young person? Who's that person in your church? Who's that person in the scouting troop or the Girl Scout troop that is having an impact? Eagle Scouts gravitate to our program. Same thing with Girl Scouts that have their highest award. Hobie graduates come in and we compare and contrast their programs. I like that. Being compared to Hobie in the state of Tennessee with RYLA on the same level is amazing. I really want to get into your EDC that Williamson County has in your school system. If you haven't visited that community, I encourage you to please do so. You've got some amazing students that you're raising in there. When we bring this all down, it's all about collaboration. So this is our why. Everything we do should have an explanation for why we do it. And this is why we do what we do at RYLA, is equipping young leaders to be successful in the future. And all of our young leaders have been, and broadening their relationships with Rotary. When's RYLA? So when you look at the timeline, we start in December. We start communicating with the presidents. I sent Steve a welcome letter and an information packet on this. It goes out to all of our clubs across the district, along with an application. We're going to open on 1 January, and we start taking applications to fill out the program of 72 students. Next week, we start on Sunday with staff training. We actually conduct 2 RYLAs on an annual basis. Our first RYLA is when we pick up staff, and we refresh everybody on what they're doing as leaders and our methodology of teaching and our methodology of accomplishment. We're very purposeful and practical in every step of what we do to achieve a desired outcome, because that desired outcome then we build upon in the next exercise or the next keynote speaker or the next exercise inside the academic room that we occupy. So this is our format and focus at RYLA. And hey, I get it. Clarksville's not the epicenter of District 6760. We're all the way up in the northwest or northeast corner of our district footprint. But when you look at what Austin Peay provides us and the proximity to the Fort Campbell Challenge Course, we can't build a $2 million challenge course with private dollars and make enough capital to justify the expenditure. The ROI just isn't there to do that. But Fort Campbell lets us do that at $15 a head on an annual basis. The school system gives us a bus to transport our students to and from. I have everything that we need right there in Montgomery County to do what we do. And that's why we utilize that facility and we get the very best dormitories for our students. I had a mother dropping off her daughter who is a part of the UT Martin team. She walked into the dormitory. We were in Castle Heights that year, and she said, "My God, this is amazing. Look at the view out that window." And I went, "Yeah, Holly, it's pretty kicking here." And this is just one of the dorms that they allow us to occupy. We get the best of everything. We have the run of the campus. If the weather goes inclement, I have the Red Barn, I have the main ballroom, or I can go over to the Foy Center and use the entire gymnasium. So this is how we conduct our program. It is the 4 stages of team building. There's no secret sauce there. If you don't know forming, norming, storming, and performing, sorry, that's what we do. And every day is focused on one stage of the team building process. Our days are long and our nights are short. We tell the parents at check-in that we have a no electronics policy. Cell phones will be in the room. And the reason is whenever you're at the table, I need you to be locked in on my baby blues so you can see what I'm doing. Because if you're not, otherwise we're on our cell phones and we're not engaged in having a conversations with the members of our small group. And if we do everything right, at the end of Tuesday's lunch after check-in, I can take a look at the teams and know they've already done the 6 degrees of separation of everybody that they're interconnected to and how that small group is already connected without having met each other. Or maybe they've attended the Gov School the year before for a program. So I think what I want to do right now is I want to stop talking and I want you to see what 5 days of RYLA actually looks like. Please enjoy.
I came here kind of like clueless, basically. I just knew it was part of Rotary, and that's the only thing I knew about.
I just came into this thinking that, well, it's something to do with leadership, and that's all I know. Like everybody was like really happy, but like that's how I am as a person. So then everybody else was like they weren't used to it as well. So I'm like, is this normal? So I was really confused at first.
These people are crazy. What have I signed myself up for? My thought process was this is going to be a fun time. Like the people here looks fun.
I get really excited. I was like, no way actually doing this. Like it really brought up the energy. I was like, okay, this is gonna be really fun.
I'm zero clue what to expect. I just knew we were going to be doing some leadership activities and having some fun, hopefully. I think my favorite part of today was probably getting to know everybody when we first walked in here. When they split us into the groups, I didn't know anybody, and with the icebreakers, it kind of just let me like know everybody.
My favorite part was meeting new people. I am I'm somebody who loves meeting new people. The people admit so they act like I'm known them for like a long time. Like we bonded very well today. My favorite activity today was probably the icebreaker tag, where certain people were in certain clothes or born in certain times who had to chase each other. My biggest challenge today was working with my team. We did this game and we had the same where we're about while we were in this very, very small square and we were tenuous and we all had to balance on one foot. During the speech because I just felt he felt like real. Mr. King, he was very insightful. I've never seen the world from someone who had a perspective like this. Even though your life is short and limited, there are no limitations. What you can accomplish and who you can become. As what took us going was whenever I figured out that I wasn't exactly who I thought I was in a way, because we're all different, we can add different things to the table. So now we use our different characteristics to reach a common goal and be successful as a team. Like understanding what I can do as a job and who I am as a person, I think it's just like really great. Biggest difference about today's yesterday's challenges. I think yesterday's it was indoors and it was more chill because we were trying to get to know each other still. I feel like today's challenges were so we used to this because still we went outside. We would get frustrated, but we were able to bounce back from those frustrations. The favorite challenge today was the challenge where you had a tennis ball and you had to pull the string and you had to get it from one place to the other. And that was really fun. We were not very coordinated at the time and kept falling. We did have a hard time, but I felt like it was a learning experience. The tart boat that we did today, because we all had to kind of squeeze on there and it was folded up and we all had to stand on it, all 10 people, and we had to flip it over without falling off. Considering how we're all standing on it, I don't know how that's possible, but together as a team, we figured it out. The hardest challenge was this acid river challenge where you had these stepping stones, but everyone had like a body part or a foot on it. And it was really hard to get everyone in sync and cohesive to me. I liked the one group, which was where you like in a circle, holding hands. And we were doing that and we had to find our way through the circle. My favorite part about Walt's speech was you're human, you learn through mistakes, and it's also super important as a leader to be a good role model, set a good example for others, and you make sure you're doing the hard work that you expect others to do. I will tell you that every one of you has a leader inside, because leadership is learned. It's not inherent in everyone, it's learned, and we all have the ability to learn. Interesting. Honestly, if I didn't want to be as bad, I didn't know we had to get on a harness and stuff. Expecting it to be like that bad, and then like once I was in the moment and I saw everything, like I got so like kind of overwhelmed. My initial thought, excitement, and I was very scared at first. It was just kind of frustrating, but I didn't trust the metal rope and stuff. The most challenging part was to keep my focus. You want to like also encourage people while you're also like doing the challenge as well. And you looking down. Oh no. So the most challenging part was probably finding a tower. Because there was just we had to move like around a lot and like you had to move a lot of upper body strength to push yourself up. And it was just like it was really, really hard. And because you're going so up high, like it's 50 feet up, and it's a lot. My favorite part was, I think it was the one where you have 4 people jump at the same time in those boards. But when it finally reached the top, I felt so accomplished. Like I had worked for this and like I'm finally here. Like when we were uncomfortable, we progressed. So I think that's a very good thing I got from today. If I can go through this, I'll be fine in life. And like the special project that we did today. We basically sat in the hallway and spitballed ideas.
my favorite part about just different projects that we had to work on was definitely how we learned to work together as a group. I do feel like our project is realistic enough because it's a way of helping people who might not have the ability with the thing that they need. I think that it was definitely such a learning experience that I can definitely take with me in the future. And I believe that I can apply this to my life back at home and I can maybe insert myself into my community more and help them. Part of the working through exercises actually the anticipation of it, honestly. It's fun, but definitely hard just because I had to get into the mindset that I could actually do it. I was definitely doubting myself at first to actually break to the board and cheer on everyone else's goal was really. And like what I liked more than like breaking through the mind and writing my goals was like the encouragement of everybody else. Like after they would finish breaking through theirs, lifting everybody else up and people that couldn't get it on the first try, just still encouraging them. That's what I think this whole thing is about. I think the group leaders and staff here are just amazing. They're a very good influence of leaders and how this program works. I would recommend RYLA to a friend because you're not only learning about your leadership qualities, you're making so many connections. I would recommend RYLA to a friend because I've had a great experience here. And even though at times it has been difficult, but it's definitely been a really growing experience for myself that I would love for everyone to get to experience this. And not only are you like improving your leadership, which is great, you're making friends, you're building up a better you, and I think that's just great. Ready to fall? 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 Rolling.
John Duncan does our video for us every year. John gets paid about $1,000 an edited minute, and that's a 7.5, 8 minute video. And I said, there's no way in heck, John, I can't afford $8,000. He goes, pro bono. That's the support we get for the program. It's a phenomenal program. I always have to end by getting to a quick thank you for your sponsorship and everything that you do. I'm open for questions. We've got a couple of minutes. Good. No oh, darn.
I just want to say I love how the two of you have plugged into Rotary. Fatima, in case a couple of people actually texted me and said, wasn't that girl in our speech contest? She was in our speech contest twice. I believe she won 2 years ago. Isn't that right, Fatima? Yeah. And I love the way you all have discovered Rotary and plugged in different ways. Fatima, you have a rare opportunity for the quadruple crown, which would be win the speech contest, go to RYLA, get a scholarship, right? That we have a scholarship coming up in next year, and then I apologize, what's your name? Chip. And then do what Chip did and get an international grant too. That would be like the grand slam of Rotary, and I really hope you do that. So you guys make me proud. Thank you.
Fatima, I would love to hear about the projects that some of the groups did. Like, what was your group project that they were talking about?
Well, our project was basically where we would go to like a church or like a drive or something like that, and we would collect women's supplies, and we would donate those supplies to churches that don't have as many supplies as others. It would be specific around like, like rural areas of Tennessee where like, pregnancy and like all of female materials are not very, well accessed. Other people did like the same, like similar things like drives, like education or food and socks and knitting and really generous. Yeah, I remember that it was a rule where you would get funding if you actually carried out your project.
I was wondering if you could tell us what the target age group is and what the application or selection process is.
The target age group for us is, we want emerging sophomores and seniors. We want your interactors that are already involved in Interact, or you think they have the skills to bring an Interact into that high school if there isn't one. And these will be the future officers for that program. I train what the clubs send me. We screen every application. I am intimately familiar with every student that walks through our door and what's on their application. There's multiple sports that they play. There's multiple clubs that they're involved in. Isabella was on our staff for a while. She walked through the door with a resume that I assure you that maybe if 2 or 3 of us got together and we built a resume, her still wins. She was 16 years old with a 36 ACT score. She was an absolutely amazing young lady, ended up at Harvard studying some kind of a molecular biology, and she's going on to pursue her PhD or a doctorate. Phenomenal students. But I train who you send me, and Sheila does a great job of screening your applicants for you. Does that answer your question? Any other questions? Good. Next slide. So at this point, I get to say thank you for your sponsorship. Thank you for everything that this club does. And I get to ask my friend and sponsor for so many years, Sheila, will you come up, please, ma'am? Chip. Highly coveted inside the RYLA world when you join our team is the RYLA swag that we take care of. And Chip is going to impart some of our RYLA swag that our staff members are presented. Oh no, you got to open the bag. It's a thing.
Oh, it's a thing.
This is a whole show and tell.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Cool bag.
School bag. There's your RYLA t-shirt. You can put it on. RYLA. I mean, that RYLA fleece is coveted.
Oh, that's a nice fleece.
Yes,
I
indeed.
love it.
Yes.
Ooh, a blanket too. This is so cool. Thank you very much. Gosh, it just started, I think, in Lennis, actually. When he was doing youth exchange and he was kind of involved in RYLA, it was quite a few years ago, and I didn't know anything about RYLA. And all of a sudden, when I was on the board of director of vocational services, I just picked it up. And then I was on one-man committee kind of behind the scenes for all these years. And I like it because, one-man committee, it worked. And then, through Bob's energy is what keeps me going. And him and I work very well together, and I enjoy getting the students, and being on the board helped me go to the schools and promote it. So it's just kind of it's my thing, I guess. And I really enjoy doing it. This is awkward for me to be recognized because it's just a fun thing to do. Thank you.
Stay here. Let me say something about Sheila. She has been a supporter for youth in Brentwood for quite a while. She has sponsored over 20. That's an estimate, which is amazing. And because of that, many have gone on to participate in many Interact, Youth Exchange. The impact that you've had is amazing. So our club is presenting you with an Outstanding Leadership Award for RYLA. This is for you. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. That's what Rotary is all about. Volunteers like that, doing so much for our community. Really appreciate that. That's all for us. Please don't forget to stack chairs in 8 away from the walls, and you all have a fantastic weekend. Thank you.